Hey everybody, welcome to Alfano Ministries International. I'm going to do a quick update on some things that we've been doing here in the ministry, and it's been a while since I did a live stream, so I'm going to go ahead and get that on there now. So either if you're watching in the future or if you're watching live, which hopefully some of you will be able to come on, I'll give it a few minutes to allow some people to come on and just set some stuff up. And I want to do one more page. So anyways, so I'm going to give a quick update. So if you got a minute, hop on. Right now we got 0 viewers, but that's fine. I'm just letting this thing kind of warm up. Maybe you get a notification that we are going live. And I'm going to make a second page. This over here. Okay. So anyways, earlier this year, the Lord basically gave us the mandate to launch out into the deep, step out of the boat, get onto the water. And that's what we're doing. And so, we officially launched Alfano Ministries International, LLC, or not LLC, Incorporated, which is a 501c3. And that was step number 1, which gave us the ability to operate as an actual ministry. And so we've gotten everything we need for that. And then the Lord put it on our heart for Europe and opened up doors over there. So we will be ministering in Europe starting in actually about 30 days. So in 30 days, we're going to launch out. We're going to head over to, we're flying into London. So we leave Pittsburgh on the 9th. So it means we'll have to leave the Tampa area the end of May after our church's big camp meeting and conference. And then we'll drive up to Pittsburgh. We stay a couple days there. And then we're going to get on a plane in Pittsburgh and head out to London. We stay one night in London and then we travel over to Belfast. The reason why we're flying into London is because we're going to end our trip in London. So we decided to do a round trip out of London, even though it's a little bit more travel. I mean, I could have flown direct into Belfast and then from Belfast to Italy and Italy back to London and stuff like that. But we just felt that it was more cost effective for us to do a round trip ticket, and the best area for us to do was London. So that's where we decided to make it our start and finish. And then so we are going to be ministering with evangelist Mitch. You could look him up, Mitch Belfast, and excited about being over there. We're praying for an open door to minister on Father's Day in Belfast as well. But anyways, we'll be there for about a week and we'll be traveling with his ministry. We'll be seeing what he's doing with the youth and the young people over there in Ireland. And so this is our first time. We've never ministered with him before. I've never been to Ireland before. So it's God, it was really a divine appointment. God opened up the door and we walked through it. A lot of times God will open up a door for people and out of fear and out of, just not knowing how the funds are going to come and things like that, then people just back out of it. And so with us, we said, no, we're going to go ahead, we're going to press in and we're going to do it. And if God opens up a door for you, you don't want to hesitate. You want to go through it. That's one thing I've learned in my life as a business person is that, you have to strike while the iron's hot, And so, I mean, there's been many opportunities in life where, in business and things like that, where, not everything looks like it's ready in the natural. You look at the numbers and you say, boy, we could almost get started, but, let's wait until things are absolutely perfect. But if you wait for everything to be perfect, it's never going to happen, and sometimes, your miracle happens when you step out on the water. A lot of times people will say, hey, I need to get all my ducks in a row before I can do anything. Well, they don't know is that ducks don't actually get into a row until they're in flight. And so I have a pond behind my house here, and there's ducks on it all the time, and they're never in a row. They like to swim, and they like to walk around the banks and do things like that. And they're not necessarily in a formation until they're actually in flight. So we've decided to go to flight. We're gonna take off and then allow the Lord to meet us while we're in the air. And that's exactly what we're gonna do with this trip. So that's one thing that's happened. And we also have the opportunity to travel into Guatemala later this year, probably in September. And then more doors are opening up. I'll be ministering in, I'm doing a kingdom business in Florida. So it's near Tallahassee with Dustin Wells later on. And I just was on with another pastor yesterday. And so there could be some more open doors in Texas and places like that, as this year unravels. It really depends on where we want to go. And then the resources to go, because obviously, travel takes resources and ministry takes resources and things like that. And we're not a big brand name ministry yet. And so a lot of people don't know us, and we don't have any partners or anything like that. So everything we do at this point is really up to us to do it on our own. So, and us and the Lord, thank you, Jesus. But, that's the mandate that he gave us. So that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? We're going to set out on faith. We're going to take this step of faith, go out and do this trip, and thank God he's going to meet us out there. Now, in the meantime, the Lord gave me this download. He said, I want you to do a podcast. And at first it was really just to lift up the arms of other ministries and other business people. So that was what he told me. He said, don't worry about your ministry. Don't worry about your finances. Don't worry about any of that stuff. He goes, just focus on raising up the people around you. And that's a method that we've used in business for many, many years, where, we have always put other people ahead of ourselves. It's like, I would rather have you be successful on my team, more successful than me, than just to me make money from somebody in business. That's the way I've always been. And so the Lord said, hey, you know what, Mark, in ministry, you don't have a lot of open doors right now. So start where you're at with what you've got, which is something that, I've always been really good at. I start where I'm at with what I've got. And when I started my tiramisu company, it was very similar. We had, it was basically like the phoenix rising from the ashes. We lost our business in 2009. And we had a few people who kept begging us for tiramisu. And I resisted at first because I did not want to do that. But when I looked around at what I had was some equipment. I had some stainless steel tables, and I had some mixing bowls and mixers, and I had enough stuff to make tiramisu. And so I said, well, you know what, there's a need. And I have the stuff, and, it doesn't look like this big factory or anything. It doesn't look like, something that, it doesn't even look like something the Lord could use, but he used it, and that by us being faithful and stepping out when it didn't look like anything. I remember my first order was for one pan of tiramisu, and it was one pan to one customer, and my total sale was $41 back then. So I made $41, which cost me probably $35, because I had to make it, and I had to buy the materials and the pan, and not only that, I had to deliver it about an hour away. But you don't despise the days of small beginning, and and that's what we did. But as a result, what I would do is I would take the little bit that I had, and this is a lesson for you if you're in business or in ministry, that you take the little bit that you had, and I would reinvest that or reseed it back into my business. So I took that $41 that I got, and I went and I bought enough to make 2 pans the second time around. And then and it's funny because I got a call back like within a few days from the same guy, and he's like, man, we ran out. Can you get us more? And I think he wanted like 2 more pans, of which I had the funds for. But instead of making 2, we stretched ourselves and we made 3. Okay. But, when those 3 what happened is that we took number 3 pan and we went restaurant to restaurant and business to business. And we took that 3 pans and we probably sampled 5 or 6 different restaurants with it. And out of that, every place I sampled gave us an order. And then, 1 restaurant became 5 restaurants, became 3 states. But we just kept after it. I was selling in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio. Then the equipment got better. The facilities got better. The delivery vehicles got better. And it was no debt, didn't have to take out a loan, didn't have to stretch myself financially. And then what happened is through the grace of God, we had a food distributor that just happened to be having lunch at a restaurant that I was delivering my tiramisu to. And, I struck up a conversation with him because years ago, he had supplied my restaurant. And as a result, he said, "Hey, what are you up to now?" And I said, "Well, I make tiramisu. I sell at the restaurants and grocery stores." And he said, I'd like to get you into our food distributor. And we did. And we did the first food show. My first order was 100 cases, which was huge. I mean, that was like a game changer for us. But then that company was bought out by another company that went to a national brand, which took us into 17 states. Okay. So now here you go, from 1 pan to 17 states in short order. And really, it was following the divine leading of the Holy Spirit through the whole process. And that's how we've lived our whole entire life. It's like you listen, you hear, and then you do. You listen, you hear, you do. And so that's where the podcast was really born out of, was listening to the Spirit of God. When the Spirit moved us and he said, "Listen, I want you to take this opportunity to lift up the arms of other people around you. And as a result, you will be lifted up as well." And so I said, "Okay, Lord, if that's what you want me to do, I'll do it." And look, guys, I know nothing about any of this stuff. I mean, I've been learning as I'm going, it's really been just, I mean, it's been a learning experience for us, and here I'm going to show you real quick. This is our podcast now. Let me bring this up on the screen. So this is on Spotify. This is a 7K Revelation. So people ask me, where did you come up with the name 7K Revelation? Well, that happened based on the content of what we were producing in these broadcasts. The first one that we did was with Ryan O'Connor, and it was phenomenal. I mean, I got such overwhelming response from it. And, but what I started to feel was certain scriptures that were coming onto it. And then the first one that really hit me, well, there was a few of them. Okay. So the first one was in Romans. It was 11, 3 and 5. It says, "Lord, have they killed your prophets and torn down your altars? Am I the only one left? And now they're trying to kill me." And do you remember what God said? He said, "No, I have 7,000 others who've never bowed the knee to Baal." And so that's where the 7K and the 7K Revelation comes from, because it's really about revealing the 7,000 out there that have not yet bowed the knee. Okay. And so as I started to go through this process, I realized there's people out there that I knew personally, that I didn't realize had such a powerful testimony. Man, we are surrounded by people with these amazing, testimonies, and so we're going to reveal these people through the 7K Revelation podcast, which now you can find on Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere there is a podcast available. I think if I go into, say, iHeartRadio, let's go podcaster dashboard, iHeartRadio, and then you just do a search. So here I am, there's Mark Alfano. And then you should be able to, your library, your whatever. And then, let me see, for you can look at these different suggestions, and then I can go right to the search bar, and I can just put 7K. And there it is. Number 1 top result, 7K. So just do a 7K, open up iHeartRadio, brand new, hot off the press. We have Frank Shelton, amazing interview, guys. If you haven't heard this yet, it's unreal. We have under him, we have Pastor Don Walker. Now that one I had a little audio issue on, but it's 100% worth listening to. We had an issue that night with his audio, which forced me into basically taking off my headphones. And people say, "Oh, why do you wear headphones? You think you're some kind of DJ?" Well, when you listen to that, you'll realize why I have to wear the headphones, because there's such a feedback in these things where, it may create like an echo chamber. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get rid of this. Okay. And so, but the content is out of this world. So you definitely want to jump on, watch Pastor Don Walker. Dustin Wells is this guy. Listen, this one right here has spoke to so many people. I've had so many people who have messaged me to tell me that this particular message has touched them greatly. In fact, one of the shorts that I posted from him had over 4,000 views. It's one of my most viewed shorts. Very simple, where somebody bought his groceries at the grocery store. The one before that was Dr. Buddy Bell. Phenomenal. I mean, just unbelievable story of the ministry of helps, And it's interesting, because we know that we're nobodies. Alfano Ministries International right now is a nobody, but we're an acorn, and it has the DNA of an oak tree. I know that when I go live, I get 0 watchers live. But at the same time, it's what comes after it. The Lord says, just keep your hand to the plow, don't look back. Keep your hand to the plow, don't look back. I like the old movie, Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come, and that's where we're building it right now. So we understand that we're not going to have a lot of supporters, and we're not going to have a lot of followers in the beginning. But it doesn't mean we're going to stop. It doesn't mean that we're going to slow down at any time soon. And then number one, the first episode, number one, was Ryan O'Connor. Like I said, we just dropped our newest one with Frank Shelton. If I go back to this is Spotify, you'll see it right here. Number one. Number 6 is Dr. Frank Shelton again. Pastor Don Walker, Dustin Wells, Buddy Bell. Next, we have Ashley Alfred, which will drop this Friday. That's 1 week from today. Phenomenal story. What she's doing in the prison ministry, her testimony is just next level. I highly recommend you tune in. It's going to touch so many people. We have Sadi Peckerol. His story, you got to hear it. I mean, this guy is just, it's off the chain. We have Troy Bravenbore. Build a multi-million-dollar business, kingdom business. He's coming up. He's already been recorded. I still have to edit. I just recorded we have John Seeds and Cherie Seeds. Man, I don't want to do spoiler. Let's just call this a teaser, right? Talk about being in Alaska, plane crashes, and being chased by wolves and different things. I mean, like boats capsizing, and that story is one you guys 100% are going to absolutely love. Yesterday I recorded Katie Frazier with Katie Frazier Ministries, and she's going out. She's going to reach the nations. She's also doing a European tour this summer. You can go to her website, Katie Frazier, Frazier Ministries, and you can check out what she's doing. In fact, I'll post up her thing right here. Let me see. I got it. Let me just bring this over, and I'll actually post up her banner right now so you can see it. That's Katie Frazier Ministries. Had her on yesterday, and Apostle Nathan Sloan. Man, that won't hit till probably June, but that's one you guys are gonna like. Man, I was totally floored. The testimony was just fire. I mean, I don't know how else do you put it? I mean, so good. So what the Lord showed me was, he said, "Hey, Mark, start where you're at. Start with what you've got." And he says the rest will follow. And so that's where we've started at. So listen, if you are on any of the what do you call it? The podcasting sites, who knows? Maybe I'm late to the game. Maybe podcasting isn't a thing anymore. I don't know. I mean, I'm just doing what the Lord told me to do. And I mean, the Lord wouldn't tell me to do something that his hand wasn't on. But anyways, if you're into podcasting, jump onto it. Who knows? Maybe it'll be like the Joe Rogan show or something one day, but clean. So you and your kids can watch it, and you can be, you can be lifted up. It's funny because last night I was playing the podcast and I stopped it, and it was like midnight or 1:30 because Frank had just dropped at Dr. Frank Shelton had just dropped at midnight, and so I put it on, and I stopped it, and my son was like, "Dad, turn it back on. Why'd you turn it off?" And so yeah, he was up. We were all up, and so he had just gotten home from a birthday party. But when your kids are telling you to play, you're onto something. So here's our channel. You can go to the Alfanos. It's Alfano Ministries, at Alfano Ministries on YouTube. So go to the YouTube channel at Alfano Ministries. And please do me a favor, guys, subscribe to the channel. Right now we have 532 subscribers, but we want to hit 1,000. We need that. I mean, it's really how this ministry is growing. This is our pulpit. Right now, this is our pulpit. I mean, you can make fun of it. You can do whatever, you can say whatever you want about it. I mean, I'm not, if doors don't open up, Pastor Rodney always says, some were called, some were sent, some bought a microphone and went. So, whatever it takes, the idea is that the harvest is plentiful and the workers are few. It doesn't say the harvest is plentiful, so the workers should feud, right? We should all be on the same page. We're all here. If you listen to Frank's, he said the number one issue with churches is jealousy. And so we're not here to put people down. We're not here to step on people. We're not here to try to like, hey, you stay away from me. I got to be next to the man of God or anything like that. Look, it's humble beginnings. This is what we've got. That's all we've got right now. And so we're going to take, and what we're going to do is we're going to steward the little, because the Bible says that if you're faithful with the little, he'll make you ruler over the much. So this is all that I've got right now. This is it. And so this platform, I believe, could reach millions of people around the world and unlock many, many doors for our ministry. And so that's why we do it. And it's not to have ego or anything like that. It is really just about doing what God calls us to. Because believe me, like I said before, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of making it up as I go. So here we go, thealfanos.com. Now, if you go down through here under videos, if you click on videos, you'll see here our videos. So like this one here, no views. But look, Frank Shelton already has 20 views. And listen, guys, you think, oh, it's only 20 views. Where's the 4 million? Well, it'll come. But for a long form video, where most of them have 7 or 14 views, to have in 13 hours to have 20 views, it's really good. So yeah, we don't despise that. But on here, there's my long forms, and then you'll go down through here. There's Alfano Ministries, and you'll see the podcaster on here as well. Here, this one here, Dr. Buddy, about 41 views. Ryan O'Connor, 77 views. Our European ministry tour, 53 views have been viewed already. And so it's getting some traction, and I know that this will as well, this live. And then if you go into the shorts, through a good friend of mine, David Arabedian, which I'm praying that he'll be on my broadcast really soon. He wrote the book, Jet Ride to Hell, Journey to Freedom. If you don't know him, look him up. His testimony is so amazing. I mean, I'm not going to give you any spoiler alerts, but let's just say it's going to be a movie one day. Had to, I guess they're doing some work at the end of my street here, and they cut my power. So if it goes off again, it goes off. It is what it is. But anyways, my good friend David was the one who coached me a little bit on how to, get some of these streams together. Like doing the Opus clips and different things like that, and really promoting our channel, promoting our website. And so hey, hopefully you're able to see me. Hopefully this thing's streaming. Who knows? What's going on right now. So if you're watching live, great. We are live here, and I think it's coming back up on now. So I'm just trying to watch myself here online as well to see if it comes back. It looks like it's starting to come back, and who knows if it's coming on or not. But anyways, so that's where we're at with it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go and I want to share with you some of my websites, some different things like that, because I think it's important that you see like where we're at, what we're doing. If I click on live though, I'm not seeing nothing. So let me just give it a minute to come back and see why it's not coming back. Let me do this, end the stream, or there we go. Okay, good. All right, looks like we're back. So thank God. Well, anyways, the reason why we were off there for a little bit was the infrastructure here. So I guess they're putting a stoplight at the end of my street, and as a result, the power has kicked off 2 or 3 times, and it's just like the enemy to disrupt my live stream. But hopefully you hung in there with me. There will be a pause in the live stream, but fast forward through the pause, and I can't edit it. So, unfortunately, I can't take anything out of it. So it is what it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, and I'm going to restart here with a new one.